going to show you one of my favorite things to make. It's simple, doesn't have many ingredients. It's great for that night that you forgot to go to the grocery store, don't know what's going on, and have it. Nathan Long, Quest Trust Company president, showing you how I've survived becoming a vegan. And this was one of the things that you really get hungry at the end of the day and things. This has just a few products in it, but the flavor is amazing when it's done right. All right, we're going to start with fresh garlic. I highly recommend fresh garlic in this one instead of the jarred garlic. You can do it that way. It just tastes better. The traditional way to make it is just with pepper flakes, just like what you put on your pizza. I've actually used those little ones that worked well. I like to add a little bit of crushed pepper powder. This is just a chili powder in there. That's just for me. I like that extra flavor. We're going to use a pasta. Today I'm using a fettuccine pasta. The important thing about the pasta, when you're buying it for this meal, it can't be enriched. When you read the ingredients on the back, it has to have one ingredient, right? Which is house-milled flour. That's it. It has to be that unenriched because we're looking for the starchy consistency that comes from this. And then this is probably the ingredient that is hard to find. When I was in Houston, I would find it at Penzeys. I've ordered it online, and it's very specific. It's a gray sea salt, not anything. This only comes from France, not any other type of French. It must say gray sea salt. And when you see the consistency, you can get it ground a little bit less coarse than this, but it's a real, it looks gray as you do it. Try a little piece of it. Go ahead. It's like got an earthier flavor to it, and this is the key to this particular thing. Once you discover the salt, you'll keep it in your kitchen as something that you use all the time because it adds so much better flavor to ingredients than anything else. So, we're going to start real simply. We've got over here a boiling pot of water, and we have my wok. I'm going to add a generous amount of olive oil to my wok. I always add a little olive oil to the water to keep things from sticking. I'm going to start the whole process. We're going to use pretty generous amount, a couple of good sized tablespoons there. You can see that's pretty, I'm making a pretty salty brew here. So all it is hot water and salt. While I'm doing that, I'm going to warm up my olive oil because I'm cooking with cast iron. I always talk about the importance of cooking with cast iron whenever you're vegan. And for my garnish, I'm going to go ahead and heat up just keep it on low, but I'm going to go ahead and heat up my griddle just so it's ready whenever it comes. So this is heating up. I got some water boiling. What I'm going to do there is next, I'm going to take my fettuccine here. Thick spaghetti sauce or work well. Any type of hearty, fresh noodle here. And I'm going to add it into my water. The water's really nice and hot. Kind of a mistake a lot of people make is they don't let the water get hot yet. It's best to put it in after it gets hot. Now while that's cooking, I'm going to have to dice me some garlic real fast because I forgot to do that. Got to have our garlic cut up and diced. I got plenty of time. That's all getting hot. You know, because that pasta will need to cook for a second. But I want to slice the garlic. I don't want to cut it, and I want a pretty good amount of it. I've got my pasta over here. It's cooking. And push it down there a little bit. It's okay to go ahead and let the pasta cook first, right? Turn that water down a little so it doesn't boil over. Stir it. Most of the sticking happens whenever, right at the beginning. So you want to keep stirring it. That oil's over there getting hot. It's a nice brine type of flavor, and I'm just dicing my garlic. When you have this, you're just going to be amazed. Like, you will not believe that so much flavor is coming from just a few little ingredients here. Boy, this is nice garlic. I always like to hand pick out my vegetables and stuff. Look at things. I don't know. I think that hands-on makes the cooking so much more. It's one of the reasons why I like self-directed IRAs. It's like I always know what my money's invested in. I could drive by it, see it, touch it, feel it. That just feels so much better than investing in nameless, faceless type of companies. Oh, this garlic's giving me some hustle. Peeling here. Look, get the knife out and get it after it. Yeah, just gotta get it all peeled off. I'm gonna stir my pasta. Again, this type of pasta like this takes a while to cook. But if you look in my little pot, you're going to notice something. You're going to notice that it's getting, I burned a couple of those little pieces coming out. It's getting, see that water? How that's going to be the base of our sauce actually. Now, over in that other pot, we got our oil getting hot. Again, don't make a Ricky move. Don't put your stuff in a cold oil. You always want to use hot oil, hot water. You don't, put it in and then turn it up later. You want to make sure it's nice and hot when you get there. And these are just thin slices. To slice it as good as you can. Try not to cut your finger as you're doing it. It's always a good job. I'm sure there's chefs out there that are real chefs that cut the stuff up a lot better than I do. But you don't have to be a real chef to make good, solid, healthy food for your family. When I discovered this, I just was just amazed with how much flavor it can add. And again, the pasta has a lot of protein. Now you can add things to this. It's easy to cut up, broccoli or any type of vegetable you want. My wife likes to add fresh peas, I'm going to garnish this possibly with just a little bit of mushrooms as we're doing it, just for a fun garnish. So here we got it. We got over here, we've got our pot of noodles that are still cooking. Get that burnt one out. Look at that, I burnt it on the side of the pan accidentally, a couple of them. Over here I've got hot oil, and then I've got some garlic that I've chopped up and diced. I'm going to test the oil a little bit with just one. Should sizzle just a little. Oh yeah, sizzling a little. I'm going to add some of these peppers, good amount, into there. I'm going to add my garlic. It's going to start to cook. Again, this is not part of the original recipe. This is a Nathan adaptation. I add a little chili powder to it as well. I've got a ladle here. And I'm just going to feel that, a lot of garlic. A lot of stuff. It's getting nice and hot. See how it's cooking up there? And this is when the magic starts to happen. You want this as hot as you can get. You got your hot water there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ladle out this starchy water. This is wonderful flavor that came from the salt. Wait just a minute. I want the garlic to be just the right color. It's just cooking for just a second, but not long. So here we got it. Got the stuff cooking. We're going to ladle off this starchy water, and this is amazing. Watch this. Oh my God, the house is starting to fill up with so many wonderful smells and flavor. This is going to cook down into the sauce that's going to make our pasta. Now you don't want to do this too early, right? We want to have had the pasta cook a pretty good amount of time in the water here before we're getting ready to pull it out. I burned a couple of those little things on the edge of the pan. I don't want the burnt pasta in there. So these are pretty cooked up there. Look at that, there's another one. But they're not done. We got our stuff boiling over here, looking good. What are we going to do? We're going to take our pasta and put it right in there. Just like that. Oh, this is going to be so good. Oh. Look at that. Try to get it all in there. Now, I don't want to throw this water out because I'm going to continue to use it. I'm going to add this water as this picks up. But you can already see what I got going on, can't you, Nicole? Oh, man. Look at that garlic, pasta. That's going to sit in there. Oh man, that's going to be so good. Just let that cook. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more water. Keep it a little bit moist. And those noodles are going to start to soak up all that garlic and that flavor from that gray sea salt. Phenomenal product. So I had a half avocado from some stuff I was cooking on before. I decided maybe I'd just throw that in a bowl. Got a little bit of cucumber here. I'm going to cut these up, again, kind of make it look nice. Just that little angle to the cut gives them a little thing. Of course, they always have that piece left over. What have to do with that? Put it right in your mouth. All right. I grow a lot of tomatoes in my garden, so I like having tomatoes in my food, both when I cook and everything else. I always end up with a lot of them. They're really good for you. I just think they add flavor. These didn't come from my garden. It's not that time of year right now. But I just got some of that stuff. Look at it. A cute little bowl. Got a nice little plate. This is going to add to the presentation. Nothing fancy here. Just some tomatoes. We've got some... The guest will really think that you're a phenomenal cook just by adding little extras to each meal. A little garnishment, a little salad. Now you could use your own dressing if you want. You want to make your own dressing. I think maybe I'll just do something out of the refrigerator because we're talking about cooking fast and easy. I like this one. It's a little sweet onion. It's got the sweet because this is going to be a spicy garlic sauce. So I think that this little bit of sweet onion is going to taste really good on top of there. Nicole, you're going to love this. This is going to be like one of your favorite all-time dishes. Still cooking. I constantly add a little water to it. You don't want that to dry out, of course. Get a nice hot temperature. Oh my God, that's going to be good. I think that cooking is one way that helps bring people together and have greater understanding. Like, I know when I first became vegan, I got a lot of flack from a lot of my family. They were worried that I wasn't eating right. I'm skinny anyway. I've always been skinny, you know. But when they come and they get to share the food with me and eat at my table, and I serve it to them in a nice plate and it looks dish, they know I'm okay. And for, you know, it's odd to my parents of me being vegan. Raised on a cattle ranch, it just seems strange. So I try to be respectful of that. I try to think about that as I cook and remember, just because I feel this way, sometimes it's not right for me to push that feeling onto the others. It took me a long time to come up with the enlightenment that I didn't want to eat what I thought could be sentient being. It took me a long time to learn how to invest too. But the trick was doing it in small pieces, getting education, and sticking with it. This is just about ready. Oh, pieces of garlic. You want to keep it stirred when you serve it because all the stuff likes to settle at the bottom. I use a wok. You might be using not a wok. I just like it because it doesn't splash so much on the pan. But it's definitely getting up there. I'm going to give it just one more minute. A little more sauce on there. All right. I think this is actually ready. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. Like I said, make sure you stir it up. You want to get that stuff way down there in the bottom. You want it to be hot. But see how it's not even water anymore? It's like a sauce in there. See that sauce down in the bottom? That's how I want to serve it, with that garlicky salt. It is easy to get this too salty, by the way, or not salty enough. I got a salty taste, so I like it salty, and it's just so simple to serve, just right onto the plate. It looks good all by itself. It doesn't really need any extra things. You could add a garnishment. Like I said, you could cook your vegetables right in here. Put them right in here. When you put the noodles in, they'll cook right in with it. But there you go. One of my favorite dishes ever, garlic pasta. Don't even have to go to the grocery store. You just keep this stuff in your kitchen and you always got a quick meal.